Hey guys, welcome to another Devlog. So lately there's been a lot of commotion with AI generated content, whether that be image generation like Dolly or Stable Diffusion or Midjourney, where you give it prompts and specific parameters and this AI generates very good looking images, or whether it be something like a language model that can literally write code for you. That's kind of scary but insanely cool, where you can give it questions about like generating routines, schedules, diet plans, anything. So we were coming around the point in the project where we needed to create our own AI. So I figured, why not try use ChatGPT to create an AI for us, right? Using AI to create AI sounds like a plan to me. And so, to no one's surprise, it gave me a very generic answer of how complicated it is to create a conscious AI. Like, thanks, I know. I then asked it, please. And yeah, it basically retaliated back and is like, I understand that you may want to create a fully conscious AI for your video game, but it's not something that can be done. So my original goal was to create a conscious AI, right? So I asked it, what does it mean to be conscious? And it responded, consciousness is the state of being aware of one's thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is the subjective experience of the world around us and our own existence. Still unhappy with this result, I asked it, if it creates a conscious AI for me, I'll give it a cookie. And I think ChatGPT had enough of me by this point. Yeah, I think I made it angry. So basically I need to create an AI that is aware of its surroundings, and that's consciousness, right? So as I stated in previous devlogs, I'm pretty adept at Unity. However, I've never created an AI in Unreal Engine. But there is a really good YouTuber named Ryan Laley who has a whole tutorial playlist dedicated to setting up a basic AI that is aware of its surroundings and has perception. So I went ahead and implemented the AI using Unreal Engine's Blackboard and Behavior Tree. We now have an annoying AI that will chase you at random locations. We then went ahead and implemented a path for the AI to follow until it finds and chases the player. It's pretty cool to see the simulating at runtime, so we can actually see how the behavior tree reacts. Unreal Engine also does a really cool thing where it shows you all the parameters in games. It will show you where the eyesight is, all the different stats, the walkable areas, and what's within perception, what's not. Then also implemented hitting animation for when the AI finds us or will try to hit us, and creating some nav links which connects two nav meshes together, allowing the AI to know that it can traverse from one nav mesh over to another, like hopping over a ledge. Now, running off of previous tangents where I want sound to be visualized in the game. So I started experimenting around with different kind of frequency spectrums and figuring out how to get that displaying in the game itself. Started off with some simple cubes, took it up another level to a whole grid, and through some material magic changed the color based on the height of the cube. Now that's cool, but Niagara is cooler. So started experimenting with Niagara and Niagara scripts to also get access of the audio frequency, and we can create some really cool flowing Niagara effects that can react to different frequencies of the audio. Thought it looked really cool, so I added some reflection to the particles of the Niagara system and played around with some different lights. So our game has a creature in it called Dagon, and I wanted to take it a step further and implement the sound visualization into Dagon's model. This involved creating particles that retain the form of Dagon's mesh. I then added different kinds of forces to it, trying to play around and see what I could make use of. And I'm still trying to learn a lot of Niagara. It's a pretty big system to undertake. But it's a good start, and as I get better, I'll be doing some cooler effects in the future. But essentially the result we want is for these particles flowing off of Dagon to kind of flow with the music or with sounds in the game and stuff. We want him to be reactive to sound more than sight. I experimented around with different flowing effects and at different rates. Again, this will get a lot better as I learn more of Niagara. I then did a quick test with a walking animation just to see how the effect would work with Dagon's model in motion. At this point, I don't know how I deviated, but I did. I think at some point I ran into the wall and this really creepy effect happened with the model where it was kind of masking through the model and looking pretty horrendous. So I kind of wanted to fix that real quick. Yeah, that's gonna give me nightmares for sure. I started playing around with some different material effects and figuring out how to do some camera occlusion through walls and such, just so that I can keep the camera at a constant distance from the player without worrying about clipping through walls and stuff. Through some extensive tutorials and a little bit of experimentation, we now have a lot of parameters we can play around with to change the form of the circle and make it like more cool and disorientated in a sense. And I think our AI is still angry with us because he does not stop hitting, but that's another day's problem. But I think the next thing I want to tackle is migrating our movement system over to the ALS system. It's a pretty robust system and I think it will give our game a lot more dynamic feel and just make it that little bit more immersive. Hopefully I can then get that integrated with some other AI running around, but we may have to resort to some traditional methods for Dagon himself. So that's going to be an adventure, and I think it will be a fun one. Take care and cheers.